Hi! Welcome to Wednesday Nights DIY. We're live. If you are with us, give me a thumbs up. Show me some love. Want to see if we have anybody watching with us live. Go ahead and refresh my computer screen. Says that my connection is weak, so I don't know if we're going to do very well on this. Hi, Pam. Pam's here. Okay, tonight we are going to make DIY bath bombs. We're going to do something a little different and see how it turns out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hand the phone off to my camera girl, Courtney, and she's going to get us started here. Alright, so first thing that we need is we need some baking soda. And we need some citric acid, and then we're going to need some witch hazel. But I like to do something fun with my witch hazel, and I like to put a fragrance to it. So you can buy cheap witch hazel at the dollar store for about $1. I think my husband picked this one up at Walmart, and it was maybe $3 or $4. But usually I just get cheap witch hazel at the Dollar Tree or the Dollar General. This is a vanilla bean, and we're going to scent our witch hazel with vanilla. And so I'm going to show you how to use that. It takes a couple weeks to get your witch hazel scented, but it's really worth it when you use it in recipes. If it's already scented, or you can use this as a room spray base, or there's lots of reasons to use witch hazel. So I already have some made up, but I'm going to show you how I make this. So you can see I just put my witch hazel in a jar, and now I'm going to take my vanilla bean and I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to open it up down the middle, hopefully without hurting myself. Okay, that's pretty good. Now inside of the vanilla bean, get real close, you can see that that's kind of wet and sticky in there, and it's got a lot of tiny little seeds, and that's good. We want those. We really want to kind of open that up and damage, bruise, bang on, smash, chop up the vanilla bean, because it really kind of releases that fragrance when you start bending it and bruising it and breaking it up. So I'm going to give it a lot of chop marks here and really kind of scrape up these seeds and put them back in. They're very sticky. And then I'm going to just stick it down in my witch hazel, and I'm going to do the other side too. You can get vanilla beans on Amazon. I think that's where I got these. You can bang on these a little bit with like a mallet or a meat tenderizer. If you want, the more kind of puncturing and bruising that you give these, the more flavor that's going to release. And you want to make sure that you do get that opened up so that those seeds can get exposed. I'll put that one down in there. We're going to try and get all of our little seeds here in there like that. And then we're just going to put the lid on it, and we're going to keep it in a dark place, and we're going to let this sit for a few weeks. You can let it sit for a few weeks, you can let it sit for a few months, you can let it sit for a long time, And I'm just gonna, every once in a while, I'm gonna come by and give it a really good shake and a swirl. You can see it's already changing color. And that'll darken up. And so we're just gonna let that cure for a few weeks and it'll be ready. Now I had already done one, so I have one here that I've already got in the spray bottle and it's ready to go. And so this is the one we're gonna be using tonight. But I wanted to show you how to make that scented witch hazel because I think it really adds a little bit of specialness, a special quality to the bath bombs. Okay, so for your mixture, for your bath bombs, it's 1 part citric acid. So a part can be anything you want. If you're using tablespoons, then you'd use 1 tablespoon. If you're using cups, it'd be 1 cup. I'm gonna use a 1/2 cup tonight. And we're gonna use 1 part citric acid. This, you can get this like in the canning aisle at Walmart's, usually any kind of feed store. I think I got this one off Amazon, but we don't live near a lot of shopping places, so it's easier for me to just purchase things off Amazon a lot of times. And then you want to use 2 parts baking soda. And you don't have to be really exact, but you want to be pretty close. So there's 1 part. And now we're going to use the second 2 part. Whoops, a little extra. Should be fine. Now the key here is to really mix this pretty well. So you want to make sure you don't have any clumps. You want to get all of your clumps smashed down out of here and really mix it well. You can just barely tell the difference between the two, and I'm actually going to use my hand. I feel like I can do it a little faster that way and kind of break up these clumps. You can use a mixer on this. If you're making a big batch, I recommend using like a hand mixer or KitchenAid mixer or something. If you don't get this mixed well, you're going to get a very grainy bath bomb that doesn't want to stick together, and it doesn't want to fizz all the way through. So it's really important that you get this mixed pretty well. Get all of those clumps broken up so that they can get mixed well. And since we're just doing a small batch, I'm going to keep mixing this while we prep our mold. Now, you can use these bath bomb molds if you want. I got this double set, and so you can make like 3 at a time with these. And you're just going to pack it full, and then you would put some rubber bands around it to kind of hold it together. But these are pretty big, and I don't have a lot of material tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some bath fizzies, and we're going to use a silicone mold. You can use any silicone mold. You can get them at a lot of craft stores, Michael's, lots of different places, online, Amazon. They have like Christmas tree shaped ones. So you could, like if you're making these for Christmas, you can make these in Christmas tree shapes. You could do them in lots of flower patterns, all kinds of really fun little things. They probably even have snowmen shaped ones. So we're going to dress these up a little bit because we're using such a plain silicone mold. We're going to dress it up a little bit with some pretty little herbs that I have here. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to, let's take calendula. Calendula, I believe, is the proper way to say that. And these are kind of whole pieces, and I think they're pretty. So we're gonna look for a good one. Like here's a really good one, and so I'm gonna put this in, you know, just upside down like that because I want that in my on the top of my bath bomb. And I might put a few little sprinklings here of the petals kind of around the side. And I'm going to lay out that decoration. And then I also have rose. So we'll do one in rose too. And we will see how these turn out tomorrow because they're going to have to dry for a little bit. So let's see what we've got here. We've got a pretty little rosebud. We'll use that one. And there's two. So we'll do two little rosebuds on that. That'll be cute. And we'll put a couple little petals up there in the front. Now if you want it, like these are really fragrance too. I can really smell the rose on this. If you wanted to have like a peppermint scented one, you could use peppermint tea. You could get the peppermint tea. You could use any of the teas, really, if there's one that you particularly like, green tea or something like that. You can even put little trinkets inside of your bath bombs if you wanted. Now I wouldn't recommend it with this size because they're a little bit small, but if you put that inside the big bath bomb, the big softball size one, I think that would be really cute. We aren't going to do that tonight because it's a little bit trickier, and this is just a demonstration to get you practicing and making these. I think I have this mixed pretty well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of carrier oil and some essential oils to it. I have, what do I have here? I have argan right here, so we'll just use that one. Anything you like, any of your favorites will be fine. And I'm just going to use about half. I'm going to use about half a teaspoon. I'm not going to use the big one. I'm going to use 2 of these. And I'm going to go ahead and put my essential oils in this too. And I think tonight we'll use red velvet. Can you twist that off for me? There you go. Now you can use as much of this as you want. And I'm probably going to put 10 in here tonight. And then I will probably put more essential oils on this right before I put it in the tub. But I think this red velvet will go really well with that vanilla fragranced witch hazel. Okay, and now we're just we want to mix it really well. You want to get that mixed in. Really smash that up. Again, a hand mixer is great. They're not great for demonstration purposes because they're so loud. But if you have a hand mixer, I really recommend using that to help get that really mixed up well. You can add lots of different things to these. You could add the herbs directly to this if you wanted. You could add Epsom salt to it. You could even put a little bit of borax in here if you wanted to soften the water in your bath. So there's lots and lots of ways to change these up and make them all different shapes. You can add coloring if you want. We're not going to add any coloring tonight because I really didn't have anything that was Christmassy colored. But if you're going to use coloring, I recommend using a powdered colorant. I like mica powder. That's one of the things I usually use. Now here's the tricky part. We have to spray our mixture, and we don't want to spray it too much, and we don't want to spray it too little. And you will see as I start to spray this, it kind of begins to fizz a little bit. And I need to get my hand in there and start working it right away. If you add too much liquid, it's going to grow on you, and you'll have trouble getting your molds to stick together, they'll start coming apart. Like it'll just really expand a ton. And if you don't get it wet enough, see like right here, it's just starting to stick. So this is just about perfect. If you don't get it wet enough, they won't stick. They won't stick and they won't form into the size you need. And so it's really one of those things where you just have to play with it until you know you're getting the right consistency. And once it starts to stick, you don't want to wait too long because they will harden up. It'll harden up in this bowl, and then it'll be in the shape of this pile. I am going to risk it and give it like one more spray here, and I probably shouldn't because it needs to be just a little drier than what you think. But I'm going to try just one more spray and see if that brings it to the consistency I think it should have. I think we're okay. You just don't want to use too much. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our spoon and we're going to spoon it in there right over top. Watch my molds, please. We're going to spoon right in over top of that flour, over top of that calendula flour I just put in there, and kind of smash this down. Now these need to sit and dry for about 4 hours. So tomorrow for our DIY, we're going to take these out and we're going to shrink wrap them and decorate them and see how they turn out and see how they work. We're going to put them in some water and check them out. See if they turned out okay. Okay, so I'm going to fill the rest of those in real quick here. And I think I'll just go ahead and I'll do a couple plain ones. Because we can probably, I was going to say, I wonder if we could stack these somehow and make them real cute, maybe look like little presents, or I'm sure there's something fun we could do with them. You know, I'm going to throw some lavender in the bottom here of a couple of these and see how that looks. Just a few little sprinklings. So just so we have some real different variety. And you can see, like, it kind of reminds me of moon sand. If you have any kids that have ever played with the moon sand, it's kind of like that, where it's sandy and crumbly, but with a little bit of pressure, it really wants to stick. Yeah, and I feel like I'm starting to lose it now. It's starting to harden up just a little. So you do have to work quickly with these. If you let it dry loose, it can be packaged as powder water conditioner like Calgon. Oh, like for your bath, a Calgon bath. That's a really great idea. That's a really fantastic idea, and you could bag these in really cute little bags and put a cute label on it and a cute ribbon with a cute name. And these would make great presents for cousins, sisters, moms, teachers. Lots of fun ways that you could use this. Now I have not used this mold before, but I was told that it's hard to get them out when they have corners. So we'll see how we do here tomorrow in the next couple hours. But if you go and buy a mold and you aren't sure just based on that little observation someone gave me. You might look for a round shaped mold. Let's see if we can get the rest of this in this one here. There's one, and might end up with one small one there. Kind of a messy little deal, but that's okay. And if they don't work out, what we'll do is we'll throw them in a bag and we'll put some lemon oil on them, and we can use them as bath or toilet bombs to clean the toilet, because they fizz up and really help get some of those stains off the side of the bowl, and then that lemon really keeps it fresh and clean. Okay, so there we go. That is our bath fizzy recipe tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you like it. I'm going to give this a little spray right across the top because it makes it have kind of like a hard crust to it, and it'll help kind of seal it in. So I'm just going to give it like 2 little spritzes there, and then if they dry, when they come out, I will probably flip them over and spray the other side. That'll give us our best chance of really trying to get them to stick together. Yes, and we're gonna plastic wrap those tomorrow with Christmas designs, and I have some shrink wrap that we'll use, so I think that'll be fun. Okay, everybody, thanks for coming. I hope you have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow for part 2 of our DIY bath fizzies.